Hope you've been keeping well. I've been busy here, not with the normal things, but with some filmmaking. I've been making films for other people, which has been really good. It's been really helpful. And however, there is still a lot of logs to split for firewood, and there's still quite a bit to do in the forestry. So I hope to take you along with me for some of them. I've had a few upgrades as well, and I'll show you that in a second. But I thought I'd keep it nice and simple today, and I'll just show you some of the basic axes I've got. Nothing fancy. Of course, I could use one of my upgrades. I've had a sneaky little sort of laser vision added. I know. Let me show you. Can't do that too often. It's still a bit hot. Anyway, it uses a lot of battery power to do that. I tell you what, we'll leave that fanciness alone. We'll go the old-fashioned way. We'll use a maul. We'll start with something small. Now, this is fresh horse chestnut, which came down recently. Just to help things along a bit, so it dries a bit quicker, I'm going to take the bark off, which isn't as simple as it sounds. So, first of all, I get my forest axe. And then take the bark off. Like I say, this is horse chestnut, and it's a bit tricky to get started. But once you get started, it's and this one's being particularly difficult because I've got the camera rolling. Of course it is. Talk amongst yourselves. You bugger. You really... A little caption is going to come up and say, sometime later. Right, and you're probably thinking, is it really worth taking the bark off this horse chestnut? Because some of these are a bit tougher than others. And the answer is yes. Instead of waiting over a year for it to season, it will dry within, depending how hot the summer is, between 4 and 6 months. Some might argue 8 months, but a good summer, and this could actually be usable in 4 months. Because I've taken the bark off and split it. Now, the forest axe will easily split that. But I said I'd show you the maul. Now the maul is a very different beast. Now I'm going to say something quite controversial here, is that I keep my maul quite sharp. Now a lot of people would say you don't need it sharp, but I've found using it that when it is sharp, it cuts quicker and better. But that's my opinion. Might not be yours, but that's how I run. Anyway, what's a mole if it's not sharp? Anyway. Right, this is in the way. Let me just move this for a second. So, mole. Let the weight of the mole do the work. You can spend hours using this thing. And you don't have to swing it very hard either. Next, I'll show you the forest axe. Now this does need to be sharp. Like before, we take the bark off this horse chestnut, and you'll notice that these are quite small. I'm keeping them all roughly the same, just so you can see the how these different axes cut. But I won't bore you again with taking the skin off. Taking the bark off. Because the forest axe has a shorter handle, you do need a good swing. And yes, as I said before, it does need to be sharp. Forest axe is for limbing, little jobs here and there. So, forest axe. Now this is a long-handled Swedish splitting axe. Very different beast, long straight handle, small splitting head. And it's my favourite axe. So we're still taking the bark off using the forest axe. And you might notice that this is a bigger log compared to the other two. And that's because this splitting axe will make mincemeat of those little ones. So give it a fair crack and whip. Right. That's it cleaned. Do this all day, and I do. You can stay there. Now, I said about the forest axe, that does small to medium sized logs. My Swedish splitting axe will do medium to large logs. The mole doesn't care. In fact, it doesn't give a monkeys what size wood you put in front of it. And with a good swing, it'll take care of just about any piece, unless it's knotty. When I first started, this was the first thing I used, was a maul. From Aldi, by the way. Don't know if you can get them anymore. And I know I can hear you again while I'm splitting horse chestnut, which is easy when it's green, and that is so true. Ooh. But even the knotty ones don't survive too long. So, those are the 3 axes I have. There's some hatchets inside the house, which are used for kindling and little jobs here and there. The forest axe I use a lot. I use it for all sorts of jobs, pulling trees, limbing. A really, really handy axe to have. But this, the Scandinavian splitting axe, is my preferred choice. It's light, I can use it all day, and I don't have to throw a big heavy headed maul around. So they're my axes. Like I say, simple video today, lots to do, and I'm going to leave you with something nice to look at, because let's be honest, the world's a bit rubbish at the minute, and I'm being polite. So let's end on a nice note. It's a beautiful time of year for the daffodils here in southwest Scotland. And I have to be honest, when you start seeing these little droplets of sunshine bursting out in the garden, it lifts the heart. So here's a little burst of sunshine. Take care now, and I'll see you soon. I'll be making more as usual, though they are going to be a bit random, but then, weren't they always? Right, take care now. Bye for now.